Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my fiancée, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's December 12th, 1998.
It is. Although that's a fucking weird way to say it.
This episode is going to be a, I don't know, we don't do shots, so it's going to be a, well, sometimes we do shots before we record, but this is going to be a, what the hell, what would you call an audio, like a track? This is going to be a track-by-track remake of one of the episodes we did earlier.
No, it's not.
The very first episode.
You weirdo.
The films of 1993.
No.
Remember when we talked about the movies of 1993?
Yes.
And how excited and fun they were and everything? And then we went into 1994 not knowing that we would see something called Pulp Fiction or Forrest Gump.
Yeah? Well, no, I think we did know about Forrest Gump.
Big movies from, well, yeah, I mean, they did advertising for it. Kind of like with The Phantom Menace. We know we're going to see The Phantom Menace next year.
Yeah.
And we know this because we saw The Waterboy, which was a terrible movie, and there was a preview for it before that, and there's a preview for it in front of basically every fucking movie you see. And,
right.
And Pepsi is issuing commemorative cans with characters' faces on it, and the media blitz is enormous for this.
Yeah, it is.
Toys
it's
and
annoying.
shit, it's everywhere.
It's annoying because, like, it's not been earned yet.
No one's earned it.
I mean, like, once we see it, maybe we'll be excited for that shit, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's new Star Wars.
Sure, but I mean, like, we don't really know these characters, so...
Well, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi's in it.
Okay, but do we really know that much about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
And baby Darth Vader.
Right? But I mean, like, seriously, from, like, the original Star Wars movies, like, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. Exactly. That's, like, it. That's, like, fucking it. Like,
that wasn't even him that said that, you know?
No, I know, but that's, like, the reference to him. Like, he's barely in it.
He's in the movie. What are you talking about?
Barely, though.
He's the old man wizard character. He plays the prototypical wizard, the wise wizard character on the hero's journey, who gives the hero his quest, and then dies.
Barely in the movie.
And then says, if you strike me down, Darth, I should become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Whoa.
And he's like, what's that mean? And he's like, I'll be able to talk to Luke sometimes.
Right.
My favorite inclusion of Alec Guinness in the Star Wars movies is in the third one, in Return of the Jedi, when Yoda dies and he shows up there, and he just sits down on a log with fucking Luke, and 100% Alec Guinness was like, hey, I don't want to fucking stand here for this whole scene, George, or Ross Marquand, or whatever the fuck his name is. The guy who directed this, something Marquand or something like that. Roy Marquand. He's like, can I just sit down on a log? And George is like, well, you're a ghost, so I, but George, just write it so I'm a ghost, but I can sit down on a log. He's like, okay, I guess Force ghosts can interact with the everyday environment then. And then it's like he just sits down on a log.
Right. It is hilarious.
I love it. But you know what else I love, Carol?
What, dear?
I love quotes from celebrities.
It does not surprise me, considering how much you love to do impersonations, that you would love quotes.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting towards the end of the year here, everybody, as you heard in the opening. And when I said the date. And
congratulations, you can read the calendar.
From looking around. But anyway, so the newspaper's doing a lot of end-of-year stuff. And a couple of the things are... an issue of People magazine asked women to pick the sexiest man of the year.
Okay.
So who would be your pick for the sexiest man of the year?
The sexiest man of the year. So, like, he would have had to have been in something and been sexy in it this year.
Well, maybe. There are a couple people on this list that I don't think have, well, at least one, that hasn't been in a movie this year. Would it be Vince Vaughn?
No.
Who we just saw?
Absolutely not.
Would it be a Johnson Depp?
Maybe, yeah.
Would it be Bradley Pitt?
I was trying to remember if Johnny Depp had been in anything this year.
I don't know.
Because he's definitely at the top of my list, but I don't know if he's on the top of this year's list.
Well, here are what some people say. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess, says Sean Connery.
No.
He's got a very good voice and a very good Scottish way about him.
Sure, if you're into that.
And he's got strong views on life.
Then that's sexy.
About beating women.
Check out his views.
Gillian Anderson of The X-Files says Johnny Depp. He's so damn good at what he does. Anybody who is really talented at what they do is sexy to me.
Okay, so is the cook at McDonald's sexy if he makes you a good burger, you weirdo?
Why would you pick McDonald's?
I don't know.
As a example of culinary excellence.
I'm just saying it's just bizarre. Like, anybody who's good at what they do, come on.
Okay.
It's very broad.
It is, you're right.
She thinks a lot of people are sexy.
Why, you think a lot of people are good at what they do? She'd think I was sexy.
Well, of course,
because I'm the
you
best
are.
at making tapes.
You are sexy.
And you'd be sexy, too.
Well, of course.
To Gillian Anderson.
Oh, not you, though. Had to put that qualifier on.
And no, I'm just saying, Angie said, I'm just saying that Gillian Anderson would think you were sexy because you're good at what you do.
Okay. I guess.
Angie Dickinson. Are you familiar with Angie Dickinson?
No.
She was policewoman in the 1970s.
Okay.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he's hot, but was he in anything this year either? Like, come on.
He's great looking, and he has that wonderful thing called humor. And he's mature. He's dazzling.
I like his voice.
Does she know him personally? You like Antonio Banderas' voice?
I do, yeah.
Oh, yes, Katamia, you love that. Dionne Warwick, are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
Say a little prayer or whatever. She's psychic.
Yeah, from the Psychic Friends Network or whatever.
She says Wesley Snipes. Because he's not only sensual to look at, but he has the ability to transmit that it just flies out at you.
What's flying out at you there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, at least, he was in something this year, so.
I love that so Allie Walker, this is the only one they do this with. Allie Walker of The Profiler. Because you don't know who the fuck Allie Walker is.
No.
But she's in the television show The Profiler. Mel Gibson, because he makes you laugh, and laughter is very seductive to me.
Interesting.
And then Anne Heche. Vince Vaughn.
Really?
Her Return to Paradise and Psycho co-star. He's old-fashioned in that he's a true actor. He doesn't rely on celebrity as many actors do these days. To me, talent is very sexy. Another talent is very sexy person.
I wonder if they hooked up.
I don't know. That's very interesting. Lauren Holly says Harrison Ford. And then finally, there's Gloria Rubin of ER who says she likes Lawrence Fishburne. But finally, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yay, Buffy.
TV's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. John F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Quote, I like big Irish guys.
Oh, my God. Angel's a big Irish guy.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's right. Wow, that's probably a joke. Good joke. Anyway, so Us Magazine asks celebrities to recall their favorite holiday memories. Tim Allen says, the dumber the memory, the greater the Christmas. My grandma pouring the gravy in the caramel sauce because she'd had a little too much brandy.
Gross.
One of your favorites, Lucy Lawless.
Yay, Xena.
She of Xena, warrior princess.
She's hot.
Yeah, she is. Said, I love snow because I don't come from a place where it snows. I'll never forget opening the shutters and seeing this pure vista. It was like a fairy tale.
Aw.
Dave Foley of News Radio, one of my favorites. My favorite holiday tradition is probably the slaughtering of the Christmas cow.
Ew.
We wear silk gowns and go into the field and slaughter the cow. Hey,
What the fuck?
Hey, that's Christmas in Canada.
That's Canada? Like, I was thinking he's from, like, some weird out there place, not Canada, our neighbors.
He is from Canada, yeah.
They go out and slaughter cows in silk gowns?
This is clearly a joke, Carol.
Oh. Oh, now that's a little embarrassing.
Cuba Gooding Jr. says, probably when I was in junior high school and found a moped under my tree. My sister and I had to share it, but still.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wycliffe Jean of the Fugees. When I sat on Santa Claus at the mall when I was younger, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I used the bathroom on Santa.
Oh, God.
Interesting. Morgan Freeman. I don't have any pleasant memories. Part of my problem is that I hate cold weather. My other problem is that there were a lot of hardships when I was a kid, and the holidays only made it worse.
Aw.
We usually only got a bag of pecans or a bag of oranges. It was always a sad time. Jesus Christ.
It's so sad.
Thanks for bringing the mood down, Morgan Freeman. Holy fuck.
Poor guy. But, like, he's old now. Hasn't he had any good Christmases since he was a kid?
I don't know.
That's so sad. Like, I get it. Sometimes people have shitty Christmases, but have at least one good one. Come on. You're rich and famous, man.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I can do a better Morgan Freeman, I bet. Oh, and then began the tempest to my soul.
What in the fuck?
What? That's Morgan Freeman, right?
Did you just say Tempest the asshole? Because that's what it sounded like to me.
No. Sandra Bullock. It's not Christmas unless I watch How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I
love that movie.
I have this thing for Dr. Seuss. I just love him,
A thing?
especially around the holidays. She loves him.
Thing one and thing two?
Ooh. Drew Barrymore. When I was 6, Steven Spielberg bought me my first stereo. It meant the world to me. I played a lot of the Go-Go's and the Beatles and the Police. That's a different story than Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's like, we were poor and we starved, and maybe I had a 5-inch nail for desserts. And Drew Barrymore is like, Steven Spielberg bought me a stereo.
Dear Lord.
Oh my god. I love it. So that's the celebrities and their Christmases.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I love it, don't you? Don't you think it's fun?
Yeah, that's why I said so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good at that. How about though toys for Techno Tots?
What in the fuck? It looks like a creepy like umbilical cord baby thing with a lap. Like, what is happening?
This is not a visual medium. You'll either have to be better at describing things,
Okay,
or
so
move on.
a baby with a giant head is rolled up in a ball staring at what looks like a handheld like video
It's a computer
game
screen.
or
It's clearly a computer screen.
but he's holding it in his little hands.
Yes. Well, how do you know it's a girl? Or, I mean, a boy.
It looks like a boy.
Long eyelashes. It's a boy. You're right.
There's no hair. I don't know. He's bald.
So, it's male pattern baldness for this baby. I was born bald. Software aimed at kids 5 and under creates hot sales and a hot debate. Sabrina Prey sits in her mother's in her mother's law. Oh, that's supposed to be lap. They forgot the P.
Wow.
Anyway,
Shame.
Sabrina Pay sits on her mother's lap and examines the case for the CD-ROM game Jumpstart Baby. For the moment, it's more interesting than the teddy bear on the computer screen in front of her. Let's make music. Press any key and we'll make music. With a little coaxing from her mom, 16-month-old Sabrina pokes the keyboard with her tiny finger.
Wow.
They just cut
Were
half
they
this off.
drunk?
I don't know. They cut half this off.
Like, put a little effort in.
Anyway, one member of the Barnyard Quartet, the cat, I suppose, responds with a furious bit of fiddling. Sabrina glances at the screen, then returns to the CD case.
This is not a good commercial for this product.
Yeah, well, so it's hard to see what Sabrina has gotten from her fleeting encounter with technology, but her parents, Brian and Chandra Prey, of Fuller, California, are convinced that the early introduction to the computer will prepare her for school. Quote, anything that can teach them computers is valuable.
Okay. I think, learning how to, pee in a toilet and eating solid foods is probably more important right now, but sure.
So they asked experts in child development their 5 favorite programs for preschoolers, and these are them. My Make-Believe Castle, which the action takes place in a castle inhabited by Nicky the Dragon and his regal retinue, prince, princess, and wizard. The child controls their actions by placing objects in their path. Drop a shoe in front of the dragon and he performs a pirouette. Okay. Sim Tunes from Maxis. I believe they make Sim City. This program,
I love SimCity.
This program merges art and music. The child begins with a blank canvas to paint and decorate. Each colored dot applied to the palette represents a musical note.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Kid Picks. This best-selling art software makes every child development expert's must-have list. You can paint singing birthday cards, blah, blah, blah. Thinking Things. Kids experiment with size, shape, and color. And then Blues ABC Time Activities. Blue, that charming pup from the Nickelodeon TV show Blue's Clues, invites kids to explore the world of letters, sounds, and words. So, what do you think about this, about kids under 5 years old being introduced to computers?
I think it's probably not really doing any good. And I feel like it's a rich person's stupid idea because, anybody who had to work hard to pay for their computer probably doesn't want sticky-fingered children touching it.
Right? No kidding. But they used to warn parents, don't show your kids TV too soon.
Right.
Because the commercials are too fast-paced and everything, and it will mess up their brains. How fast-paced are these video games? This seems...
Not good.
Yeah, this seems like it's not a good idea. I get if people are well, it helps them read or whatever, helps them learn to read, but give them a book. I mean...
Yeah. Read to your kid. How about that?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it.
Interact.
But if you're looking for programs, I guess those are the 5 that they recommend. But yeah, I think you should be, I think 12, 13 years old before you start messing around on a computer.
Well,
really.
no, I wouldn't go that far. I had computer classes in kindergarten.
You did?
I went to a private school.
How?
Because I went to a private school.
How young are you?
We're about the same age there, dear.
Yeah, or a different age.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1998 right now.
Uh-huh.
And back in kindergarten, you had a computer in your classroom?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so presumably you're older than 10, right? So this would be pre-1988.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way you had a computer in kindergarten.
Are you really trying to argue with me?
Yes.
You're wrong.
Okay. So in the early 80s, you had a computer in your classroom.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good for you.
Yes.
We didn't.
Yeah, you went to fucking public school.
I don't even think I'd heard of a computer when I was in kindergarten.
I went to a Christian private school, and we had the lemonade stand game. And
what is that?
It's a game where you have a lemonade stand, and you have to choose like how much sugar and how much lemon you put in the lemonade, and then like the weather and stuff like affects how you're doing, and you earn money.
Wow.
And we had a typing program with bunnies.
Fantastic. You know when I saw my first computer in a classroom? High school.
Well, that's fucked up. I'm sorry for
True.
you.
That's true. You know what else is fucked up, though, Carol? That UPN needs a hit, or 10. Can Dilbert rescue it?
What?
That's not rhetorical. Can Dilbert rescue UPN, Carol?
What's UPN?
United Paramount Network. We don't... I mean, the fact that you don't know what it is a big problem for UPN. It's been around for like 2 or 3 years. It's mostly they have like I don't want to sound like a racist asshole. Like apparently I do sometimes. Thanks for the letters, everyone. But it has a lot of shows that would appeal to a black audience on there.
Okay.
So we don't watch it a lot because we're not black. But I do like shows with black people in it.
Yeah.
We're not Ku Klux Klan members. No doubt about
Jesus Christ.
No doubt about it, UPN has been dragging bottom. The woebegone 6th place network, outshone by its flashier teen appeal rival WB, which we know because happy home of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Dawson's Creek, currently boasts such Nielsen rating heavy hitters as Guys Like Us, number 113, Dorista, number 114, America's Greatest Pets,
Oh my God.
and Legacy tied at number 115.
So do they make any money at all ever?
That sparkling quartet just happens to comprise the 4 lowest rated shows on TV this week. Well, actually, you can kiss Guys Like Us goodbye. The dreadful rookie sitcom just received the pink slip. Pretty soon, maybe the whole darn network will get the hook.
Sounds like it.
But UPN, which airs in Detroit on WKBD-TV, which is Channel 50, everyone. That's Channel 50, Carol, just in case.
Well, maybe I'll check out Channel 50.
Keeps hanging in there, and it's holding its breath for the arrival of Dilbert, an animated series based on Scott Adams' popular comic strip character, debuting January 25th. A corporate cubicle nebbish to the rescue of a whole network? Maybe, maybe not. Meanwhile, the toddler TV Netlit is hoping to pump up the fading appeal with its only real hit series, Star Trek Voyager, which ranked in anemic number 87 this week. Star Trek Voyager is a good show, but I have no faith in Dilbert. Have you read any of the Dilbert comics?
I mean, yeah, they're fine, but like I wouldn't rest the whole fate of a television network on that.
Yeah. Did you get copies of the Dilbert comic strip on your computer, like when you were in kindergarten?
No.
Before it was even written?
Nope. We just played the lemonade stand game.
The lemonade stand game, okay.
Oh, and Oregon Trail.
Yeah, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like Oregon Trail probably...
Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't kindergarten. I don't know.
Anyway, finally, the biggest, before we talk about this shit movie, foreshadowing, everyone.
Very subtle foreshadowing.
the biggest hits of the year, the biggest news stories of the year, Carol. You want to guess at any of them?
No.
John Glenn at 77 became the first American, or was the first American to orbit. He returns to space 36 years later. University of Michigan wins the Rose Bowl and shares the national title. Ford heads Ford. Bill Ford Jr. was named chairman of the Ford Motor Company. Let's see. Viagra. Men worldwide snap up the first effective impotence pill. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I heard that it could hurt people. Now I'm not sure if it's because of the giant erections,
can hurt
or
people.
the side effects of the medication.
Old women
but
everywhere it can hurt people.
You're going to throw out a hip.
Casinos, Detroit. I'm going back and forth between the local stories and the national stories.
Okay.
Detroit's 3 casinos to locate on the riverfront. Permanent Casino Windsor opens. Let's see. Clinton Lewinsky, of course. President's fling with intern exposed. Explodes into impeachment threat.
Was that just this year?
Yeah, that
Seems like it's been going on forever.
That was just this year, Carol. Hurricanes. George rips Gulf Coast Caribbean. Mitch devastates Central America. Mark McGwire sets home run record of 70 in chase with Sammy Sosa. That was a huge story in baseball. Microsoft software superpower goes on trial in government antitrust case. Tobacco. Cigarette makers reach $206 billion deal with states over health care for ill smokers. Let's see. Surplus. Ending 29 years of red ink. The U.S. Treasury rolls up its first budget surplus since 1969. Excellent. Frank Sinatra dies at 82. Not so excellent.
Aww.
Terror. 2 U.S. embassy bombings in Africa provoke airstrikes in Afghanistan and the Sudan. Some terrorist group called Al-Qaeda responsible. Let's see. Matthew Shepard beating death of gay Wyoming student props outpouring of anger.
Sad.
Yeah. NBA lockout. Pro basketball locks out players in a revenue dispute. Shortened season, everyone. And that is the biggest news stories of 1998. What do you think is the biggest news story, Carol? The Monica Lewinsky thing?
Probably.
That we don't really talk about because we don't talk about that kind of news. We talk about entertainment news.
I mean, at least here, I would say that's the biggest. I'm sure, like...
At least here? What do you mean? As opposed to, like, Mars?
As opposed to, like, I don't know, one of the countries that, is dealing with, terrorist attacks and stuff.
Africa and stuff.
That's probably a bigger news story to them.
I guess so, yeah. Death and everything.
Yeah.
There's a Palestinian news story in there. I didn't want to read it either, so...
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Not sharing? I don't know.
You're welcome. You're welcome for not sharing depressing news of death.
I appreciate it.
But speaking of depressing news of death, we watched Psycho, everyone.
Yeah, we did.
And instead of watching black and white masterpiece 1960s Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, we watched the exact same movie, but worse.
In color.
Yeah. So, Carol, what did you think of Psycho?
I did not like it. But I gotta be fair and honest here.
Huh?
The first Psycho, well, I can respect that for the time. It's a great movie and everything, and the twist, if you didn't know it was coming, would be amazing. Having already known the plot when I watched it, and again having already seen the movie before now, having watched it, it's kind of boring to me. I didn't enjoy it even the first time I watched it.
It's a bit slower moving because movies in 1960 were
right.
It's a little bit of a slower pace than audiences nowadays are used to, which is one detriment of remaking this movie in exactly the same way.
Yeah, they could have made it more exciting.
I believe that Psycho is a masterpiece of a film. I think it's fantastic. Maybe one of the 10 best films ever made. However, the problem with this movie is that it is not its own movie. It's Psycho. It's the exact same story. It's not shot for shot. It's almost shot for shot.
It really is almost shot for shot, though.
It's very close to shot for shot. They say it's shot for shot, line for line. That's what it's being promoted as. And it basically is. There are some minor differences, but that's the biggest thing working against it. Yeah. Because all you can do then is compare Alfred Hitchcock's direction to Gus Van Sant's. And Gus Van Sant's a really good director, but he's not Alfred Hitchcock.
Right.
And all you can do is compare Vince Vaughn's portrayal of Norman Bates with fucking Anthony Perkins' portrayal of Norman Bates. And no offense to Vince Vaughn, who I do think is a good actor.
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins is a
Way better.
fantastic actor. Very underrated, honestly, for the time. And was, like, tailor-made for this role.
Yeah. When I watched it the first time, like, he was one of the best things about the movie.
Yeah.
Just, like, his character was just, like, creepy and unsettling, but also, like, kind of believably, like, not a killer.
Yeah, charming.
Yeah.
Like, charming in a naive kind of way.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's why he was the perfect casting for that movie at that time. Anthony Perkins had a track record of doing, different things, movies, TV, and stuff like that, playing nice guy roles, like kind of secondary, sort of character actor-y stuff, but like nice guy roles. And casting him in this way was brilliant. Vince Vaughn doesn't bring any of that to this. He hasn't been in very many movies. This is, I think, this is basically his first starring role. He was in You're So Money and You Don't Even Know It movie, Swingers.
Yeah.
With his buddy Jean Favreau, and we saw that. We did a tape on that movie.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
It was a very good movie, and he's good in that movie. And he's been in some other things. He was in Rudy, but he hasn't been in a lot, and he doesn't have the same cachet. He doesn't bring the same charm.
It's not the same energy.
He already seems like a guy on the edge.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He seems like you should be a little scared of him.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing settling about him. He's all unsettling.
Well, and then there's the scene when he's peeping on her.
Yeah.
And you actually hear the masturbating sounds. It's so gross.
See a robot?
Okay.
Norman Bates is pleased.
It was wetter than that, okay? It was really gross.
Does he squirt oil?
Stop.
Yeah, we all know what masturbating sounds like.
It's
all the
gross.
guys listening to this know what masturbating sounds like.
But
it sounds like that.
We didn't need to hear it.
No.
That was a change from the original movie. I don't know why they decided to add that. And to me, it made him more sinister.
I guess in the original movie, it's sort of implied that he's masturbating, kind of, but there's no motion, there's no sound effect, there's nothing like that. It's more implied, basically, by the nature of the people.
Well, yeah. Why else is the people there? But I mean, I don't know. It changed the way I looked at him.
It does,
and it didn't in the other movie.
In the original movie, it seems almost like a curiosity. Mm-hmm. Like he's peeping at her because he wants to witness what a person's like when no one's around. Like almost like he's observing human behavior because he doesn't understand it. Right? That's the foreshadowing and the stuff that we get in there. This seems like a violation. Mm-hmm. Seems like it's creepy. Everything about it is weird.
Well, and then he, almost immediately goes and kills her after that, right? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty icky too.
Yeah, masturbates and then kills her.
Yeah,
nice. But yeah, so like I said, all you can really do is compare and contrast the original things with these remake things. And they all pale in comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, Janet Leigh is better than Anne Heche. Anne Heche is good in this movie.
Yes.
She's the one probably... Actually, Julianne Moore, who plays Lila, Marion Crane's sister, Lila Crane, is very good. She understands... And William H. Macy also, the guy from Fargo, who plays... Abergast, the private investigator. Those two know what movie they're in, and they know exactly what they're doing. And they are very good in the movie, and maybe even a update to the original. Honestly, maybe even better than the original actors playing their roles. But everybody else just really falls down in comparison, and it's like it's not Vince Vaughn's fault. No one can be expected to live up to the legacy of Anthony Perkins doing this iconic role that he absolutely owned. Like you said, he carries the movie. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Vince Vaughn just isn't capable of that. Not in this film.
Yeah.
There's not... You look consternated because I think you just don't have anything to say. Like, you look like you're just out of things to say, which I get because it's like... That's what this movie does to you. What can we say about it other than the fact that it's not the 1960 movie?
But I had a thing to say, and it left my brain, like how that happens to me all the time, and that's what that look was. But it came back while you were talking.
Okay.
So, the clothes. I don't get the clothes in this movie because it's like things are supposed to be updated, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the outfits seem like they're from the 60s, but then some of the outfits seem like they're from now. Where are we trying to land with the wardrobe? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. That was very confused to me, too. There are some outfits that Vince Vaughn wears that seem era appropriate for the 60s, and some that seem more appropriate for now, I guess. He mostly appears like he's wearing a lot of the same wardrobe from the 1960s version. And then Marion Crane also seems like she is... It's weird. They do make some wardrobe changes even in that stuff, and the changes, the decisions are so weird. She goes from like a bright colored dress in the original, and then she dresses in a more muted. When she decides she's going to leave with the money, she dresses in a more muted color. She goes from like a bright dress in this one, Anne Heche's version of Marion Crane, into a bright garish pink 60s looking dress with a big pink parasol. So when she's in the used car lot and she's walking around and everything, she sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it really feels it's almost like Pleasantville. It feels like someone from a different era is just plucked down into this 1998 world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't work. Yeah, they should have gone one way or the other. They should have gone completely modern, or they should have kept it completely. And they make a point to say Phoenix, Arizona, November 13th or whatever it is, 1998. Mm-hmm. The original doesn't give a year. It's the modern day is what it's supposed to be. It's our time now is what it says.
Right.
Every newspaper they pick up the date on the newspaper says fresh newspaper. Today's newspaper. But this one makes a point of pointing out it's 1998. Why then? Why with the wardrobe decisions? It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I get like some retro looks are in right now, but not that look.
No, and not to that degree. Not like, 'cause that's a very like Jackie Kennedy kind of dress.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't, that's not in right now.
And even like the private eye, like the suit he's wearing, that's not something you'd see somebody wearing now.
The fedora and everything. Yeah,
it's weird.
The whole thing's weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to say about this really. I can't really there's no reason to break down the technical aspects of this movie. They're good because they're all the stuff Alfred Hitchcock did. Yeah,
I mean, like, I guess I could just say I wouldn't see it because you probably already did. It's not that much different, and the ways that it's different aren't more entertaining or anything.
That's the thing is, like, any change they made was for the worse.
Yeah.
When Abergast gets killed, when he's at the top of the stairs and he gets slashed in the face and everything and he falls down the stairs. In the original, they do that, Hitchcock does that like stretch zoom and he falls down the stairs, and it's very surrealistic looking, and it's got that wide angle lens, and it's everything looks odd and parallax, and it's almost dreamlike.
Yeah.
And then, Norman Bates, dressed as his mother, we don't know that yet, pounces on him and starts like slashing him and stuff. And it's visceral, it's scary, it's very good. They changed the shot slightly in this one, and it's not as dreamlike, and it's a flatter angle, and it just doesn't look as good.
Well, and also they flashed a couple things in the scene.
Yeah, they did.
When he was being killed, like disturbing images that are just like a blink. Like, you don't need that.
No.
It's disturbing in and of itself, and it was distracting from what was happening. It's like, what am I supposed to be hallucinating? Are they hallucinating? Like, what's going on?
It takes away from the scene.
Yeah,
it doesn't add anything to
I don't even get it, really. And, like, watching her die in the shower, that was disturbing. That was done well. I think it's probably very similar to the way the original was, but, like, it was hard to watch.
It was done somewhat well. I would say it's weird to me because I don't know if they use special effects or not to film that. I don't know what kind of editing techniques or what type of filming techniques they used to recreate that shower scene. Obviously, that's the most iconic scene in the movie. Mm. But in the original, that's another thing where it seems slightly changed almost. I think that's supposed to be shot for shot, but I don't know exactly what the hell they're doing there. In the original, everything flows very well, and you just get glimpses of what's going on, and it's because of that, it's scary, and it's like disturbing, and it's almost discombobulating. Here, it felt very artificial. Okay. Every cut felt very artificial. It didn't flow in the same way, and it felt very disjointed, and it took me completely out of the scene. Huh. I did not like it.
Okay. I mean, I didn't like it, but it disturbed me with the way I felt like it was supposed to.
And I don't know if it was I don't know if it's modern editing techniques. I don't know if that's what it is. Like in 1960, they used the old-fashioned cut and paste. And I don't know if it's the difference of that or what, but it didn't. It's like I don't know if this was digitally edited. I know they have some digital editing technology now. I don't know how this was edited. I didn't really look into the behind the scenes of everything of this, but it just doesn't feel like it flows naturally. Yeah. It doesn't feel like the cuts almost feel too smooth. There's not the rapid cut. It almost feels like too smooth of a transition. Well, like you don't feel the physical cut.
That makes sense, actually. I have a question though, because it's been a while since I saw the original. I don't know if you remember or not, but like in this movie, we see Viggo Mortensen's ass.
Yeah.
Did we see the dude's butt in the first movie?
No.
So that's one improvement. That's one improvement I would give the movie.
Yeah, I guess.
We also got some side boob.
We did, which I believe is in the original movie.
Okay. I wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, I think we get a very brief glance at the side profile of Janet Leigh.
Okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yep. But, yeah, I don't know. So, I can't recommend it.
No.
It's also bombing.
As it should.
Yeah, and Gus Van Sant, he directed Good Will Hunting. He's a very good director.
Well, yeah, Good Will Hunting's amazing. So, I mean, obviously he's good.
I don't know why he agreed to do this project. I don't know if this was his idea. I don't know what the point of this is.
Yeah, it's not worth it, though.
It's not a reinterpretation. There's nothing original about this. And it's not, like I said, any minor change they made was worse. Yeah. Made the movie worse.
Yeah.
Except for Viggo Mortensen's ass. But anyway, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can see Viggo Mortensen's ass.
So you can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com.
Yes.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com and share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.